Two words that can change your life. It's John 18:3-6. When soldiers came to arrest Jesus in the garden, he asked them, "Whom do you seek?" They answered, "Jesus of Nazareth." He said, "I am." And at those words they drew back and fell to the ground. Divine authority needs no sword. You know, there are people who think that Christians should be submitted to the government, submitted to the laws of the land, even if they're ungodly laws. And sometimes Christians go to the extreme and they resist the government, and they take up arms against the government. But Jesus gives us an example in this passage of how to handle the situation when the powers that be come against you unjustly. Here we see soldiers, representatives of the government, the religious leaders. The Pharisees and the Sadducees, they all come together with swords and clubs to arrest Jesus in the garden. And it says here in verse 4, he asked them, "Whom do you seek?" Now, why did Jesus ask this question? He already knew who they were seeking. He already knew that they were seeking him. But Jesus asked them the question anyway, and he did it for a reason. This is a rhetorical question. He already knows their answer. He's not seeking their identity. He's seeking their response. Why they respond will reveal their true identity. Do they know who they're dealing with? Do they realize who they're arresting? And so they tell him, "Jesus of Nazareth." What does Jesus say? "I am." This is the most amazing statement. "I am" is a declaration of his deity. This is the name of God. Moses, when he was delivering Israel out of Egypt, he said to Pharaoh, "Let my people go, that they may serve me, worship me." And Moses said to God, "But if the people of Israel will not listen to me, and I cast them out in your sight, yet I will go to Pharaoh and tell him that you have said so, and so that you may know that I have spoken in my name." So God said to Moses, "What is your name?" And he said, "You have said my name, Yahweh." Exodus 3:13-15. So when Jesus said, "I am," he was declaring his deity. He was identifying himself as God. And immediately, verse 6 tells us what happened. That it says, "And at those words, they drew back and fell to the ground." Why? Because divine authority doesn't need a sword. Spiritual authority doesn't need weapons. The presence of God still has power to subdue all of the powers of darkness. So let's learn from Jesus. When you're faced with ungodly demands, unjust demands, wicked demands, instead of submitting, instead of resisting, instead of rebelling, just declare who you are, declare the truth, speak the word of God, and you will see the powers of darkness fall at your feet. And remember, this is the same Jesus who said, "All power is given unto me in heaven and in earth." So if Jesus is able to subdue Satan and demons, how much more the powers of the world?